so it will quickly go. So, and then you also have an industrial collaboration, to have an industrial zone whatsoever. I think why China is going to do so many things over there, one thing is Huawei's case give me a lot of give us a lot of signal. Why Huawei is being so attacked by Western society, that we put in this way is better. It's because that when China is to use the country's power to develop the technology, Huawei is the one leading Chinese telecommunications sector. So it is national champion. So how Huawei can be the national champion? Because telecommunication is related to user. So nowadays, China is the most populous country in the world. We have 1.3 billion population, or probably we're going to 1.4 billion. You have 1.3 billion user bases. Of course, your devices can be, can have more applications and more usage. You can have more people to recover your research costs. It is that simple. And one very good thing of that is that because China, there's 30 or 40 years ago, they used the handset, phone sets. And 30 years ago, the urban families they could have a phones at home, but rural area they don't have the phone because it takes a cable to connect to them. So suddenly the rural area they don't go to the cable's phone what. They immediately jump into the mobile device one. That happens. I probably think that happens in Africa as well. So you don't go to the cable connected one by one. You can use the mobile phone. So suddenly, the rural family, they want device. So suddenly, that you give the potential to the Huawei. So how Huawei is challenging? It is, of course, it can cover the research costs. One thing is very important for telecommunication is about the standards. Once people use your standards, you take the standards, and standard make a lot of money. Why 5G get into the news? It's because possibly, I wouldn't say possibly, Huawei is leading the 5G. For 5G, according to someone to say that okay, it could be a rumor, it could also be something sharing with my friend. Why Huawei's 5G is so strong? Because Huawei's asked once. Anyway, one international scholars helped them to devise a program that Huawei's 5G can be compatible with 4G, 3G. However, the current Ericsson one, current the technology from the Western society, their 5G is only for the 5G. It could not be compatible with 4G or 3G. So, Huawei's tactics, I don't need to sell cheap. I can sell at the same market price for the technology, but my device can be 3G, 4G, 5G compatible, and your device can your network can only 5G. So who will you buy? So this is technology win. So that's why the China is that they use 30 to 40 years. Going to starting from economic reforms, going into that. It is about the markets, but also that it is always the Chinese government's history tradition to have the centralized power for the technology. So that makes a difference. So, okay, so what China to do is they want to do Belt and Road. It is for the trading, investment, technology standards. So and then you see, invite a lot of the leader coming together. So one thing is very important. It is multilateral collaboration, not a one-man orchestra. So how China is doing is that Belt and Road, it is not really 100% Belt and Road. It will connect with the countries. The Russians have the Euro-Asian Economic Unions. Like India, we don't have it. Pakistan will use Pakistan have Chinese Pakistan. Kazakhstan have Belt and Road Initiative. China doesn't need to push their Belt and Road Initiative to this country. They just this country, they have their own initiative, Belt and Road just connected to this country and just make the life easier. So like for instance, China and Pakistan economic corridor is one of the corridor which China invests the most in this corridor. So what they can do is they have many things. They have the railway, they have the power, highway. This is part solar. They have solar. Okay, this part. This is a railway. This part is the energy. This was this, and then they have the transportation, airport, and then they have the hospital. So I share one thing. I quite like Pakistan somehow, because actually I honestly haven't get the time to have some sightseeing in Pakistan. So I have to say that India is more beautiful. Okay. In terms of sightseeing. So what moved me there is that in Pakistan there is one sharing regarding the Belt Road. That, okay, we go there, so we will be treated as VIP, which will feel overwhelming. How can we be treated like VIP like this? Okay, anyway, it doesn't matter. So we keep doing that because they are nice. So one thing that when the government officials share one story that reminds me a lot. They say that tell me one story that in some area that we always think that China's investment in Pakistan is the real. Actually, I don't think so. Actually, it should be the energy. So that government Pakistan officials say that since China have the Belt and Road initiative, I think long before the long period, they have the power. So for some area that before, they have 20 hours per day, they have no powers. Right now, they take 20 hours per day to have the power. That's, I think, it makes sense. Because for a region that when you have only 4 hours energy, you can't develop anything. And then ordinary people suffer. But at the time that you have power, energy for 20 days, you can have industrial development. Because for the factory, you definitely need the power. So, and that was very moved by me. So that's why from that moment, which is 2 years ago, 1.5 years ago, I no longer really look at the constructions.